Hello Virgo, how you doing? How's your week been? We're just moving into the month of July, and I've done a July reading on this channel. You might want to go and see that. For those of you who are new to the Astroflower, there's plenty of links in the description below to understand a little bit more about the Astroflower. Excuse me. So just to quickly, this is your relationship side, emotional side. This is your financial side. This is the overall energy that's running through you. These are the karmic missions or messages for both sides. And this is the combining energy, how it all sort of comes together and leads into the following week. Okay, so yeah, let's just have a look at this. You know, you're 2 months before your birthday. You know, it's going to be a situation where you might be a little bit easier, not pressed. Well, you should be a little bit easier, not pressed. If you're running around like a blue ass fly, yeah, you're probably going to make yourself very tired at the moment, Virgo. So I would just sort of like be wary of that, and just make sure you sort of take a little bit of time out for yourself. Look at what you've been doing for a year, what you want to do in the future, what you don't want to do in the future, what you want to start new in the future, and according to your past, basically. It is about here, so we've got the overall energy here. Let's just see what the overall message is in a way. A time for planting for your future. So it's sort of following that up as well in your timing. And enjoying the last year, enjoying what you've lived up till now. Even the most complicated situations can actually be very beneficial to you. And if you look at them like that and trying to understand or sort of, you know, help you to evolve in your life, it's going to make those harder things in the past actually really quite nice in a way. And it'd be good to sort of like, you know, get the be able to move on, as it were. Okay, let's just see what the overall energy is saying here. Be at home. That's what it's saying. Sort of like be involved with your family, your friends, your community and stuff like that, your job as well. But not to an extent, you know, use your quality here rather than your quantity. I think this is what it's saying here. So be qualitative about your time you give to every aspect of your life. Let's just see what's going on the relationship side. It seems to be quite calm. Yeah, tying up of loose ends. I could have well said that to you in your monthly reading, but it seems to be like that, where it could be with your partner, it could be with your family, your friends, your community, where you're just sort of, you've started things, you start to get to know people, you start to express yourself, you start to open up, and now it's the time to tie up loose ends, to find, you know, so you meet some new people, let's just say. One person plays a particular activity, and that's the sort of activity that you like. So then you can realize that that's the sort of relationship you can have with that person. You can open those doors with those persons. Just knowing what works with what people around you will be really good. So then it's almost like you can choose what's going to be in your sandwich of life, you know, in a way. Okay, so the message from the karmic message. Learning to take time for yourself. Emperor. You should have built a lot this year, I think, Virgo. And now it's actually enjoying what you've built over this last year within you. Realizing the great steps you've taken forward in certain aspects of your life, and realizing what needs to be, still needs to be done. You know, let's see how the universe is trying to influence you. they're giving you a lot of strength here. The universe is sort of like trying to provide you with situations with the people around you in all your relationships. They're trying to provide you with something that's very concrete, but without being overwhelming, basically. Providing you with a social sort of situation without being overwhelming. Very healing. Yeah, I'd go along with that. It is it's the universe is sort of kind of like just sort of kind of going, and there you go, relax. And there's no pressure on your relationships at the moment, which is really nice. Or it shouldn't be any pressure coming from you. It should give you that time out. And that can be a problem for Virgo, having that time out. Because you guys like to be running around, you know, a lot. I've got Virgos in my life and I love them dearly. And they do tend to be running around a lot. So, you know, just be wary of that. Okay, how the guide's trying to influence you really at the moment. They're playing into this card here. So they're trying to keep you as calm as possible, relaxed and not overwhelmed, basically. Yeah, because they're concerned about this you know, your birthday coming up. So they're setting up this situation where it's the end of a year coming into a new year, you know, putting all the things in its place, basically, and going from one passage to another. They are preparing the ground and just trying to keep you calm and collected about the situations within your relationships. And it looks very easy for your relationships. It should be a very, satisfying and wholesome relationship week for you. Really, no real sort of no sort of surprises, good or bad, at the moment. Let's see how let's see how you guys are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. They're asking you to look up and look around you. Within your relationships. So it may be a case of sort of suggesting to friends and family and partner, you know, I'd like to do this, I'd like to go and see this, or I'd like to go out for a meal, would you like to come out for a meal? Very easy things, not really pressure, no real pressure, but they're trying to help you to sort of look outwards and look onwards, as it were. Ten of Swords, yeah, so, you know, walking away from what could have been quite a trying year in regards to relationships for you, Virgo. And it is, I think, it's the end of that cycle. And it's also being able to sort of say within your relationships, this is the stress I don't want in my relationships anymore. It's far too painful. And I think this is where your guides are trying to help you recognize that as you sift through life. And it's going to set you up nicely within your relationships where you can get a chance, an opportunity to reset the speed levels of these relationships. So in the future, people will kind of say, okay, Virgo's actually like this. So then therefore I can relax as well and take my time. And I think it's going to make for a very pleasurable year after your birthday. But it's this work now that goes into place of you being able to sit back and relax and enjoy being in those relationships. I think that's really important. Plays well with that Emperor card. Okay, let's see what's going on your financial sort of side, your money sort of side of life. You've got one eye on the road and one eye on the speedometer, you know, or on the map. So you've got an eye out for opportunities, but they're not. They're you know, it's keeping an eye on the horizon more than anything else. They're not really within your reach. It's just you're looking around by the looks of things. Let's see what the karmic message is for this week. Structure, organization, planning, architecture in a way, sort of like having those plans in place and knowing before you start digging in the ground what you're going to be building. That's what it's sort of saying here. Good success. So if you want success in life, you have to have a good structure within you of how you're going to do that. And I think this week here is putting that structure in place within you. As I say, you're looking at things that are really on the horizon here, and they'll really kick off after your birthday. But if you're going to want this success, and knowing what you want is really important, and actually driving for that success, which will be really good. The universe here is nothing like on this side. So this is all real sort of relaxed and healing, really. On this side here, they're really starting to push you, but they're putting a little bit of pressure on you. So I think it could be a way of calculating what you need. So if you want to live a certain life, you're going to have to earn a certain amount of money. And I think this is what is going to be your success in the future going on. So the universe is just putting a bit of pressure on you of how to calculate it all and put it all into sort of place. King of Cups, King of Pentacles, sorry. Really beautiful card to have there. It's like the universe is sort of saying about that sort of structure. This is what I was saying earlier on, of having that mechanical in place and knowing where you're going and knowing that if you do this, you will get success. And it's not that the success is here, it's learning how to cultivate your success. That's what it's doing this week. Let's see how the guides are influencing that sort of karmic path. They're really part of the planning here. They're really they're helping you to understand the idea that if you do this first, then that means you've got to do this. So it becomes very evident about what you've got to do. As they sort of are connected with the outside world, the coincidences would almost dictate the structural, how you compose that structure within you, how you build that structure within you. Yeah, they are bringing in a lot for you in the way of coincidences that will make you kind of going, oh, that telephone call's just arrived. Oh, in that case, I should sort out this. That's the sort of thing it's going to be doing for you here. If you do that, you're going to really cultivate a very nice, beautiful situation coming up in the next sort of like 2 or 3 months for you. Let's just see what's going on the conversation with the guides with you here. So they're looking at the longer term plan as well. And they're sort of helping you with that thinking that sort of says, if I do this first, then I can do this, then I can do that, then I can do this. I would just be wary about that conversation that goes too far. Don't forget the mechanic that needs to be in place doing this. So be careful about running off into, not necessarily into illusions, but more running too far forward before you get the actual structure into place. And they seem to be helping you with that, but that could be hindering. So it's concentrating on certain things at certain times, and this is where you're cultivating that relationship with those guides that are creating that conversation that is within you, because we don't actually think with our brains. So that is logic. So the actual thinking's been done elsewhere, and once that thinking's been done, then it goes to the brain, and the brain can say logically we should be just doing that. I will be doing another video on that on Cymatic TV, all about that, of how we distribute our energies and stuff and so forth. So I would just be careful about going too much into futures. Basically, don't forget about the here and now and the nuts and bolts that you need to put onto life in order to get those successes. Let's just see what this overall the result, or the combining paths in the future, and certainly for this week, is serenity. It seems to be you're at ease with a lot of things. And once you're at ease with a lot of things, you can actually deal with a lot more and do a lot more and be a lot more productive. So, yeah, it seems to be, there you go, 10 of Pentacles. totally at ease. You'll have everything. You'll feel like that in a way. You've got all the possibilities of tomorrow, which are amazing on your financial side. It looks really good. So if you're looking at jobs, businesses or projects, really building into place, what do I need in order to get that job? That's the mechanical side. What do I have to do to my business? How do I have to present my business, advertising, everything like that, so it's got good success? It seems to be this way, and it's being as you're building upon this quietly in the corner by yourself. It's building a sensation of being at ease with the world that is around you, the relationships, but also financially as much as emotionally. It's a really beautiful reading for you this week, Virgo. Very relaxing. So, make sure you do enjoy, basically. So if you're already part of the Astroflower family, thank you very much for being part of the Astroflower family and helping us out. Supporting this channel by subscribing and clicking that bell. If you want to do that, be absolutely brilliant. You might want to go and see the reading for July. Your reading for July, quite an amazing reading, really. And those readings should be spread far and wide, because it would help the entire human race to move on to the next stage of our evolution. So doing loads of things on Instagram as well. Get yourselves over there. It'd be good to see you there as well. In the meantime, Virgo, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.